Made a brief introduction of Sarojini Naidu, the poet, and her poem, The Songs of Radha, the Kest. Now it's time for us to go for a line by line analysis of the poem. Sarojini Naidu wrote this poem, Songs of Radha, the Quest, to highlight the love relationship between Radha and Krishna, something celebrated in Indian mythology. The poem begins like this: My foolish love went seeking thee at dawn, crying, O wind, where is Kanaya gone? The story of this poem is the love between Lord Krishna and Radha. So, naturally, a theme taken from ancient Indian mythology. So, it is quite appropriate for Sarojini Naidu to make use of the archaic English. The The means you, but Radha speaks in that ancient mode. That is quite beautiful in the context of this poem. My foolish love went seeking thee. Why does Radha call her own love foolish love? Because Krishna is a prankster. He often makes fun of Radha and other gopikas. So they know that Krishna will play all sorts of pranks on them. You might remember how Lord Krishna hid the dress of the gopikas at one point of time. So he is capable of immense mischiefs and often give them a miss. But Radha cannot withstand the absence of Krishna even for a few hours. So she's rather foolish in that sense. Despite knowing very well that Krishna is playing a prank on her, she is still going in search of Lord Krishna and get rather desperate to find his presence. And at dawn, early morning, she goes and almost cries to seeking the question to the wind whether it has seen, I should say, her beloved Krishna. Wind, of course, blows everywhere, and there are chances for it to find Krishna somewhere. That is the reason why she goes early morning and actually cries to the wind whether it has seen, asking the question whether it has seen her beloved. Kannaya is Lord Krishna himself. There is a series of names for Krishna, and Kannaya, of course, is one among them. So she seeks her darling and asks the question to the wind whether it has seen Lord Krishna. Then the next couple of lines, we have the rhyme scheme A, B, B, C, C for this poem. I questioned at noonrise the forest glade, rest my sweet lover in thy friendly shade. Again, archaic English, thy means your. She went to the forest at noontime. Krishna is still missing at that time, and she goes to the forest and its valley and asks the woods whether it has seen Lord Krishna, because Krishna often goes to the valley in forest to enjoy the cool breeze provided by the woods around. That is the reason why Radha went there and sought the presence of Krishna to them. Then at dusk I pleaded with dove-grey tides, oh tell me where my flute player abides. Krishna, of course, is depicted as a flute player. He plays flute to entertain Radha and other gopikas. He's an entertainer par excellence. So at dusk time, evening, Krishna is still found missing, and Radha goes to the banks of river Yamuna, might be the tides. There are the tides in the river, dove grey colored tides, and Radha asks them whether they have seen her beloved flute player. Where Krishna is staying, do you have any idea? That is exactly what she asked them, but she hardly finds any answer from any of them. Sarojini Naidu is one poet highly influenced by the romantic poets of the 19th century England. There are Wordsworth, Shelley, Keats, and so many others who in fact celebrated nature. Sarojini Naidu might have got inspiration from these poets, and that explains her love for nature. In fact, this poem also could be taken as an example for ecofeminism. Even though ecofeminism is a relatively new term for English literature, we have been quite familiar with that, if we could define it so. right from our ancient literature. For example, in Shakuntala speaks to Vanajolsina as if the plant is her own sister at the time of her departure to the court of Dushyanta. It need not be inspiration by the romantic poets of the 19th century. Sarojini Naidu must have got this theme from our own ancient literature, this love for nature and what we call ecofeminism. All this must be something of Indian origin. We need not, in fact, attribute Sarojini Naidu's reading in English literature influence of romantic poets of the 19th century and as such.